What's going on YouTube? Ace Poker back again for another video. I always like to remind you guys that I'm just 23 years old trying to figure this all out, but we have racked up 2 big wins in a row after my last blunder, and we're going back to New York again. 5-10. Can we win 3 sessions in a row? You guys are gonna have to stay tuned to find out. We make some big hands per usual. Let's get right into it. Let's play some cards. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode. We are on vlog 91. I cannot believe it. Thank you guys for all the support. We're getting right into the first hand today with Ace King. You guys know my favorite hand. Absolutely love it. And quite the pot we're getting into here. And I just want to pause it right here. I opened it up to $55 over a limp. Tad big, but it's okay. The player to my direct left 3-bets me to $200, and we're in a spot right away. Do we want to come in for that 4-bet right away? How much am I gonna hate this hand after this one? You guys know I start every session with $2,000. Am I gonna get $2,000 in on the very first hand? But you have to. Can't be flatting out of position. Gotta be aggressive. So that's what I do, and let's roll the tape. 600.
600 raise.
Sure, one time.
And yeah, my opponent instantly goes, sure, one time, I'm all in. Yeah, I don't really know what that means, if that means he's got a great hand, if he doesn't, but I decide, you know what, let's gamble it up, baby. I'm not 4-betting to $600 to just fold. It seems like we're going to be dominated a lot, but putting in the call, and my opponent says I do not have a pair.
I guess once it's whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
Once it's much.
Okay. Not bad. I do not have a pair. Well, I have a pair now.
The flop comes out, and we hit a pair, but my opponent also says I have a pair. So when the turn's a queen, I'm like, oh, I hope he does not have king-queen. But the river comes, I show the ace-king, and he also has ace-king. Nothing like getting that adrenaline pumping the first hand of the session. And guess we don't lose, so that's a plus. On to the next one. And now we've got pocket queens. We go from ace-king to pocket queen, starting off this session with some premiums. I open it up to $30, and we get 1, 2, 3, 4 callers. That's going to happen sometimes, well, a lot of the times in these games, but unfortunately, there's usually a lot of 3-betting and 4-betting, but, of course, I got queens. Let's just let the whole table come in. Don't love it, and especially even less when the flop comes king high. But I do decide when it's checked to me that I'm going to have to c-bet here, so I c-bet and get instantly raised, but that player didn't even know that I was betting. He was just going to bet that amount, which was $225. Okay, I don't know what that means. I don't know if this is an angle. I don't know what's going on. This guy was a newer player, definitely someone you want on your table, no disrespect, but when it's back on me, it's a dry board. There's not even a flush draw out there, so I guess we're just going to fold the queens. I fold, and he goes, probably shouldn't have done that. I got too excited. He flopped his set, so thanks for doing that, and on to the next hand. And now, early on in the vlog, we've got the hand of the vlog, and with the pocket jiggies, so just like last vlog with the 4-5 suited, things are about to get spicy, this time with the jiggies, baby. Alright, let's get into this hand. There's an open to $75 in early position, and you might be thinking, oh yeah, the straddle's on, makes sense. No. There's no straddle on. I think maybe he just thought that there was. Who knows? But anyways, coming in for that 3-bet to $250. Little 3x in position, and he makes the call. So we're going heads up to a board of 6, 7, 10 with 2 hearts. Definitely a pretty interesting board, and when he checks it over to me, I do debate checking back here, but definitely want to c-bet here. We've got the jack of hearts, so we're, blocking some of those, queen jack of hearts if he had something like jack 9 of hearts.
You motherfucker.
But I do decide to c-bet here, and I choose a pretty larger sizing of $325, and my opponent instantly goes all in. All right, we started the session with about $2,000. Haven't really been winning, been actually losing. So I think we had somewhere in the range of 1,800, 1,750 at this point. A lot of our money is already in there, the $250 and the $325. So feels like we're pretty pot committed. But when he's jamming here, I mean, it's either he's got a set. I mean, he could have 6-7 suited. He could have 8-9, and we're basically drawing dead. Would he go all in with 8-9? Possibly. Could have queens, kings, aces. Bottom line is, I mean, seems like we're beat about half the time. Seems like we're ahead about half the time. Got a lot of money in there. Can't really just let go of our hands. So I say, you motherfucker, and decide to flick in the call. He does not show what he's got. And just like my other opponent, he says one time. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. The turn is the ace of diamonds. I don't love that because if he just had the ace high flush draw, something like ace queen of hearts, ace king of hearts, he has us absolutely drawing like dead. But the river's the ace of hearts, so I'm like, oh, all right, I guess he can't have the ace of hearts.
What's your 2-pair?
After the ace of hearts comes, he says 2-pair, so I'm like, all right, I don't really know what that means. So I show my jacks, and he says that he got counterfeit, so that means he either had 6-7, 10-7, 10-6, but let's go. We've been running so good at this game. This is the same opponent that I got the full house with 4-5 over his alleged straight. We are quite up on him. He's gonna, catch us eventually, but let's go. We get a massive double up to start the session. Let's see if we can keep it up, keep winning. Let's go, baby. All right, just a little quick interesting hand I wanted to show here. We look down at ace 5 suited in the small blind, and something I've been working on, trying to get a little better on, is just being more aggressive all over the place, but mostly in the small blind, doing some extensive work. And as you see, the basically entire table limps $10. And then the button decides to squeeze to $70. I come in for the re-squeeze to $310. Yes, pretty massive, but honestly could go a little bit bigger, like 4x, and then plus all the limpers, so could even go like 350, but folds all the way back to the button, and he's like, I should have just limped. And he folds, so we take down like $120 without even seeing a flop. I'll take that. Let's head to the next hand. All right, now we look down at a super interesting hand here, ace 8 suited. There's a $25 straddle, 1 limp, and I decide to open this one up to $100. Curious if this is an open. I'm not going to put up the charts and look it up, but just curious. I'll look it up another time. But the small blind makes the call, the straddle makes the call, and now it's on the limper, but he folds. So we're going 3 ways to a flop of ace 3-3. They check it over to me, and just feel like we're just way ahead here. Pretty good board to protect the checking range, so I decide to check. Turns a 4, the small blind checks, and now the straddle just leads out for 50. I put in a raise to $200, and now the small blind goes all in, but for only about $450 to $500. The straddle folds, and it's really not that much more, so I make the call knowing that we're probably beat a large part of the time here. Hopefully he's got a flush draw though. And he says, how many times do you want to go? I say, it's up to you. He says, well, I got you crushed. We could go twice. He's got pocket 4s. All right, should have c-bet. But the first run out is an ace. Oh my God, we should have just went one time. And the second run out does not give us that magical last ace in the deck. Wow, I should have just said, we could go once, but pretty interesting end, and on to the next one. Here we go, baby. Shout out to my coach, being aggressive in the small blind. We look down at ace 2 suited, again, in the small blind. There's 1 limp. The cutoff opens to $75. Again, big because there's just not a straddle. But out of position, I go a tad bigger here, 275. Should go even bigger, like 350. But anyways, the cutoff makes the call, and we flop the ace. Obviously, crap kicker. But on this board, definitely got a c-bet. I don't even know what size to choose. I go to assemble chips, and he snap folds before I could even assemble the chips. All right, again, picking up some money with really no effort. Can't complain. Let's keep it up. All right, this hand was really weird, and I wanted some feedback on it, but we look down at ace 2 suited, decide to open it up to 50 over 1 limp. The button makes the call, and the small blind decides to 3-bet to $200. He's the same guy that just bet when he didn't even know that I was betting when I had the queens and there was a king high board and he flopped a set. So I don't really know what to do here. I think that this is definitely a good hand out of him, Doesn't seem like he's, witty enough to be putting in like a bluff here with something like, I don't even know, like king 9 suited or something. Okay, ace 2 should be a fold, but I just think in position, if I flop something good like 2 pair or a flush draw, could get some money in against this guy. We're pretty deep. I'm like a little bit under, I think, 3,500 at this point. So I do decide to make the call. The button makes the fold, and we do flop something, but not really something that we love. The flop comes ace, king 9 with 2 diamonds and 1 heart. Do have that backdoor flush draw. Our ace could be good here, but now my opponent just bets out for $500. I think it's a little bit over pot, might be right at pot. And you never really see anybody going full pot or over pot on the flop. I'm super confused, and I don't really want to go to battle against this guy with the worst kicker. I decided to fold. Let me know what you guys would have done if you guys would have 3-bet before the flop, if you guys would hold on for dear life here against someone like this, but I don't know. We just fold, and on to the next hand. And now it's time for probably the second hand of the vlog, which is ironic because our first hand of the vlog is with jacks, so pretty crazy that you could have 2 hands of the vlogs with jacks. I guess anytime you put any money into the pot with jacks, it's fireworks. But anyways, we actually decided to put on the straddle here. I don't really straddle in this game that often, but ironic that I got jacks here. There's 2 limps and open to 100. It's back on me, and I decided to put in a pretty big 3-bet here to $500. Probably right around where you should be going, out of position, couple limpers. Probably should make like 450, but whatever. Anyways, it gets back to him, and he jams his $1,500 in the middle. Definitely not putting in 500 to fold to 1,000 more. Not in love with the spot with jacks, but hey, just putting it in. My opponent asks if we want to go twice. I say that's fine by me. The first board comes queen high. Hopefully he doesn't have ace queen, but I show the jacks. We go to the second board. I still don't know if I'm good on that first one yet. Still don't know what he has. The second flop comes king high, and sure enough, he throws ace king face up. We do not get one of the last 2 jacks on the turn or the river, and now that's twice that if we went once, we would have won. Would be up an extra $2,500, but hey, I guess that's poker. I guess it's better than losing. On to the next hand. And would it really be an ace poker vlog without getting into an agonizing spot with ace king? We open up ace king suited to $30 and get 1, 2, 3, 4 callers, but we actually hit something king queen 6. Still working on c-bet sizing, especially in multi-way pots like this. I decided on a smaller sizing of $55, and we only get called in 1 spot. The turn comes a 9, which I don't love, jack 10 being the most obvious draw that comes in, as well as, still could have some 2 pairs, some sets, so I decided to pot control and check, and now my opponent quickly fires $200. Definitely not going to be folding to this guy. He's been kind of bullying all night, so might have to hold on for dear life here. But the river is a jack. This board is awful for ace king. And sure enough, I check, and he fires for $800. Every bone in my body wanted to hero call this off. I've been waiting for a spot all night to get into a pot with this guy. He's been doing a lot of betting when checked too. He can't have it every single time, but I reel myself in and think there's got to be a better spot than this. This board is awful for 1 pair. I mean, if he shows up with a bluff here, congrats. I just don't think I can call with ace king. There's just so many 2 pairs. Not that I think he's going to be continuing to bet 2 pairs here. It's pretty much 10 or nothing. But if he was deciding to turn 2 pair into a bluff and I hero call him, he wins. So I decided to fold, and, thankfully after the hand, he did show me that he had jack 10 suited. So I guess maybe he does have it every single time, but interesting hand. Interested to hear your thoughts. On to the next one. All right, I have an absolute treat for you guys. Something that I never see. It blew my mind. I looked up from my phone to see a 4-way all-in, but wait, how did we get there? It was a 3-bet pot to $350. 3 people called, so a 4-way 3-bet pot, and on a board of 5 deuce 9 with 2 hearts, the initial raiser to my right, the 3-better, bet out for, I think it looks like $600 or $700. The next player went all in. The player after that called the all in. The next player after that called the all in. I panned over to my friend while he was tanking. He decided to show me that he had pocket queens. What would you do? It looks like it's about an extra $800 to $1,200 for the guy to my right to call off with queens. Would you ever, I mean, I know you're getting a crazy price, but it went bet, all in, call before it even gets back to you. Are queens ever good here? Do you ever have enough equity to call this off? I mean, for you GTO experts out there, this probably is making your brain explode. For the regular player, this is probably making your brain explode. It made my brain explode, but I'm going to actually show you what happened. I left the camera rolling. On the first run out, it came Jack 5. And on the second run out, it came Ace Deuce. And I'm like, there's no way that queens could ever be good here. But every single player mucked, and queens took down this insane 4-way all-in pot. The one guy showed king 10 of hearts, the other guy had a smaller flush draw, and I don't even know what the other guy had to my left. I think he said he had a smaller pair and was just going for it, like jacks, 10s, 8s. Oh my goodness, absolute insanity. Look at this mountain of chips that he dragged in. He won like $7,000 in this one hand. I had to show this to you guys. Blew my mind, absolute insanity. All right, time for a little late night gamble. We do these at the end of every session. Double board PLO 6 bomb pots. Yes, 6 cards. I haven't been showing any in any of the vlogs because I just haven't been getting into any, which is crazy with 6 cards. But my goodness, we've got a good one here. On the top board, we've got middle set, the nut flush draw, and on the other board, we've got top 2 pair. And you see, I've got a lot of chips out there. How did that happen? We each put in $25, so there's about 200 in there. He potted the flop to 200. We repotted it, so I think it was like 650, 700, something like that. He made the call, and on these turns, we don't really improve whatsoever, but he checks it over to me, and I pot it for like $1,400, and he goes deep into the tank, winds up saying that he's got pocket 10, so I'm like, oh god, I'm actually kind of smoked on that board. I obviously still have the spade redraw, but I start giving him some speech play like, you're toast, bro. You know, I've got a really good hand. And then I let him pick a card. He picks the king of spades and is like, oh my goodness, now I'm gambling against you to have a flush. Like, I know I'm good on that board, but do I just want to gamble that the spade's going to miss on the river? And I'm not lying. I do have a really good hand. But after he told me he had the 10s, I'm like, actually, I want him to fold because then we'll pick up like $800. If he makes the call or goes all in, there's a really high chance that, you know, we're just chopping. There's more of a chance that he scoops me than I'll scoop him, I think. I don't know, maybe it's like 50-50, but after the longest time, he thinks and he folds. So we've actually been chipping down a little bit after the double up. This was a massive help to get us to end the session. To end the session with $1,300 profit. We've been running absolutely insane at this game. It's been just feeling awesome, to say the least. Thank you guys for watching all the way till the end. Make sure you guys are following my Instagram, my TikTok. I'm gonna start doing some day in the life, some interesting other content. I'll see you guys over there for, you know, some more content other than these weekly vlogs. Thank you guys again. Appreciate all the love and support. Have a great day. Have a great week. Peace.